rising debt profile. The Debt Management Office 2 days ago released the debt profile of Nigeria, and a lot of people have been reacting to it, actually wondering how and when the country got into that kind of a huge debt. Having it in mind that former President Olusegun Obasanjo actually fought for debt cancellation, which the country achieved at a particular point in time. So this is going to be our podcast this morning. But before we introduce our guest, let's take this report. Assembly introduced new projects into the budget proposal, for which it has appropriated 770.72 billion naira. The president also announced that the lawmakers also increased the provisions made by ministries, departments, and agencies by 58.58 billion naira. President Buhari noted that his decision to sign the appropriation bill into law as passed by the National Assembly was to enable its implementation commence without delay, considering the imminent transition process to another democratically elected government.
I believe the next administration will sustain the earlier presentation of the annual appropriation bill.
Reacting to this, a financial analyst, Dr. Yinka Andrew, said it is unfortunate that despite the global economic crisis that is affecting different countries of the world and the inflationary trend ravaging Nigeria's economy, the lawmakers still increase the budget based on personal interest.
Statutorily, there is supposed to be increase in budget year in, year out. For three major reasons. There's what is called inflationary trend. The value of money 10 years before now is not the same as now. Two, there's what is called time value of money. The value of money increases over time. The third reason why it will increase is the fact that, whether we like it or not, expenditures are increasing due to some nefarious factors. One, COVID-19 issue. We are not out of it. Two, the war going on between Ukraine and Russia has affected a lot of things, so much so that globally things are very expensive and economy is going down.
Dr. Andrews called on the lawmakers to promote transparency in any step they take concerning the finances of the country, since they were elected to protect the interests of the masses.
We have to prune down on the way we increase the budget. Apart from the statutory ones I've mentioned, it's unfortunate that our budget will be padded year in, year out. Like I said in the beginning, it's not new. So what Buhari is saying, we've had it sometimes before.
Oluchi Amuda, Osbc News. The report from the Debt Management Office: total public debt could rise to 77 trillion naira from the 44 trillion naira as of September last year, after a band-to-band swap and new borrowings to fund the 2023 budget has been generating reactions among Nigerians. The Senate had last week put up a decision on the president's request to convert $53 billion worth of temporary loans to the government from the Central Bank of Nigeria into a 40-year bond, after some lawmakers questioned the plan. The president had, however, insisted that the country would pay 1.8 trillion naira in extra interest this year if Parliament rejects the loan to band swap request. This latest development concerning the rising debt profile of Nigeria is not going down well with some Nigerians who believe that the economy is already in shambles, and taking such a step would further impoverish the already suffering masses and the unborn generation. Mr. Abdul Maruf Adebayo and Honorable Akintola Omolaoye, who spoke in separate interviews with Osbc News, urged the government to consider the future of the country in its policy implementations.
I will never support the government of the day taking more loan, because the one they took in the last 8 years, there is nothing to show for that. And once the debt profile cannot match up with the level of development, I don't see any reason why such a government will still insist that they are taking loan. If
the debt profile of a nation or Nigeria is clamping to 77 trillion naira. It's worrisome. It's worrisome. However, you know, these things are garbage in, garbage out to some extent. Any economy that is not properly backed up by physical production, by services production and other things that will actually fetch the country the forex, foreign exchange, with which such a country will be able to compete competitively, reasonably, profitably with other economies in the world. Such a country needs to search inwardly, to look inwardly to see and to ensure that some parameters are actually jettisoned while others are brought on board.
The Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, had announced that total public debt will rise to 35% of GDP from 22.97% with the loan conversion. She added that the conversion and new borrowings will take domestic debt to 70% of total public debt in 2023 from 61.1% currently. Oluchi Amuda, Osbc News. Yes, you are welcome back. We listened to the report, watched the report on budget and the rising debt profile. And our discussions this morning will center around these areas and also include the cashless policy, everything about the economy.
Yeah.
So, who is our guest?
Our guest this morning is a financial expert, Alhaji Adebisi Balogun. Alhaji, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome to the program, sir.
Good morning, viewers.
Yes, when we talk about debt generally, what does it mean?
Debt means what you are owing. As an individual, if you are owing somebody money, that means you are indebted to that person.
Okay.
As a country, when you take money that's not yours, you borrow it from another country, or you borrow it from CBN or whatever, or from the members of the public, it's still debt. It means you are indebted to that, all those people where you take that money from.
Okay. So, what qualifies someone to actually seek for loan?
Yeah, there are a lot of issues. There are genuine ones and there are other ones.
Okay.
The genuine ones are, if you have a project you want to finance, you can ask, you can go for it, you can borrow money to do it. But the essence, the most important thing is that you have to use that money for the purpose which you take the money. If you want to finance a project, let that money go directly to that project with all sincerity, so that you can get the benefit of the money you took from wherever you take it from. Yes.
Yeah. You talk about borrowing from CBN.
Yes.
It amazed me a bit.
Yeah.
CBN is a financial institution owned by the federal government. Why does the federal government ask to borrow from an institution owned by it?
You know, the CBN, they are independent.
Okay.
They are the bankers of last resort. When government need money and they cannot get it from anywhere else, they have to go to, say, central bank. Though central bank is their creation, but they are independent.
Okay.
Yes, they are independent. So that's why when they don't have, when they will need money, when they cannot get external borrowing, they have to go do internal borrowing. Internal borrowing is either through CBN or from the populace.
Okay.
Yes.
Through CBN or the populace.
Yes.
Now, tell us the difference between internal borrowing and external borrowing.
Yeah, external borrowing are the kind of money you borrow from other countries of the world. Those are foreign debts.
Okay.
When you are talking of internal, you see that you borrow through CBN. CBN is part of the country, it's part of the nation.
Okay.
The true individual, the CBN have a way of raising such money. And the government has a way of raising such money through bonds. You know, this bond you can issue about 25 years.
Okay.
When you sell bonds to the members of the public, it's a way of raising money as well.
Okay, so
To finance whatever you want.
which one of them is less risky?
Well, the one that is less risky, honestly speaking, is borrowing from the populace, because the government will determine the rates of the bond, and if they are lucky to get people that key into such a proposal, then it's the cheapest. Yes.
Okay, now that talking about the external borrowing now, if you look at the rates Nigeria is borrowing from foreign countries,
It's alarming, very alarming. Very alarming, and we need to be very, very careful about it. Let me give you an example, like Zambia, they have a serious issue with them now because they could not meet up their obligations. I mean, the Zambians,
Okay.
they could not meet up their obligations to China. And China now are targeting their copper mine. Copper mine in China, in Zambia, is like petroleum to us in Nigeria. So, because they could not meet up their obligations, the Chinese want to take over the mine, the copper mine. I think they are in court now because the Zambians are saying, no, we do not pledge our mine as security when we are taking the money. But we need to be very, very careful, very careful so that we don't get to that point. Especially any money taken from China, well, I don't think it's the Chinese are not lending in good faith. They just want you to fail and they take over whatever they think is suitable to them.
Okay, I've heard this from a lot of experts, financial experts, and said borrowing is not a crime, that even advanced countries go upon it. Now, why do you actually have to borrow? As in, is there no ways, people can, like Nigeria, for instance, is there no way the country can look inward, and generate income rather than resorting to borrowing all the time?
Well, borrowing is not a crime, and it's not a bad thing. Just like you said, that climb, some other countries do borrow money too. The most important is what you make use of that money, and that is the issue we are having in our country today. One of the major issues that is contending with us as a nation in Nigeria today is the issue of what we call it is when you want to take money and you are not, your intention is not to actually use it for the purpose.
Okay.
Then it's a problem, and that's why we are having issue in this country today. The hydrated issue of this investments, using money for other purposes. I think there's a name you call it.
Misappropriation.
Misappropriation. So all those are the issues. We are saying that why can't we get the money internally? Yeah. It is possible.
Okay.
The way we are saying is that even borrowing itself is not a crime. Okay. It's a good thing. But you have to make use of that money for the purpose meant for. Yes.
Okay, now looking at it seems Nigeria is not using the money being borrowed for the purpose it is meant for. That is why we are in this crisis, isn't it?
You are right.
Yeah.
You
Now,
are right.
looking at all this now, Nigeria is now having a problem with this huge debt. How do you think that we can get out of this?
Well, we have to do a lot of reforms. I think the government are trying to do some now. Like this morning I read it in the newspaper that if you want to go on overseas trip now, you can only take money through your account. Like those days where you just collect cash to do all those things. And that money is traceable. Like just go there and take money and get out of the country. All those things have a kind of adverse effect on the economy. I think they said from 2015 to date, people have taken up to 1 trillion for such purposes. Yes, it's not the best. I think that's another way they are trying to curb the situation now.
Okay.
Your question is that...
how do we get out of this problem?
Yes.
What are the ways?
That's one of the measures they are trying to do.
Okay.
Then the cashless policy too. Cashless policy will help reasonably if it is well implemented. The essence is that you cannot just use money anyhow. Unlike when you have the money in cash, you can use it anyhow that is not traceable. When there is this cashless policy, it's going to help a lot in the sense that whatever you spend your money on is traceable, and you can be called to come and account for it. I think that's one of the policy government are trying to do too. Then we have to change, we have to have a kind of paradigm shift. Why do we need money? I think that question should come up.
Okay.
We need money for basic necessities of life.
Okay.
Why does a person intend to have 20, 50 houses? I think we need to change our orientation. What do we actually need in life? Why must I have 100 cars? For what? So if we change our mindset and we are able to see that the basic things of life we need is not much, I think that change in orientation will help a lot. Yes.
All right.
It will help a lot.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, the budget has been signed, but financing the budget requires additional money.
Yes.
Where does that place the country?
Well, like Obi Kusile said, the former Minister of Education said it's an hopeless budget. Yes, because she thought that, she had it in mind that this is not what we expected. But now we have to find a way of borrowing money to meet up the budget deficit. It's about 12.1 trillion. I think the CBN, the governments are saying that they find a way of financing it. I think they want to sell some petroleum or whatever that are not really working. They want to sell it to the private sector. That's part of the way they said they are going to raise the money. But apart from that, we should expect a kind of higher increase in duties, because all those are the way they can generate money to finance the budget. They will go on and borrow until we are able to change our orientation. Yes.
Okay, let me quickly ask this.
All right.
Those that are the economic team,
Yes,
are they not experts?
they are experts.
So why are they, just using the country for trial and error?
See, government always
policies?
have a good policy, but implementation is the issue. Who are those that will implement it? The experts they will do everything they can do. They package everything the way it should be, but is it going to be implemented the way they wanted it? It's an issue. Because for experts to sit down and do all those analysis and give us a paper on an issue, they must have gone through so many answers. By the time they present it and you need to implement it, that's where issue comes. They don't implement experts' advice. It's one of the issues we have.
So whose fault is that?
But your guess is as good as mine.
All right, now let's still look at this issue of debt. Now, why does Nigeria have to go and borrowing all the time? Does it mean that we don't have any source of income on our own?
We have, but we overspend our resources. Because if you want to, a nation that does not, like I said the other time, when you, as a nation, you should be independent. You should be able to control your expenditure. But at times, it's very crucial that you have to spend more than what you have.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is that money should be spent judiciously. If you are going to spend on capital expenditure, you must make sure you spend the money for the benefit of the economy, so that everybody will be involved and the economy will just come up, understand? But when you borrow and you find that kind of money eventually enters to private pockets, it becomes an issue. Or when you're supposed to do something with 1 trillion naira and you now put it at 2 trillion or whatever, you can't find the rest, it's an issue. And government must still pay that debt.
So the economy is already more or less in shambles because the inflationary trend is growing,
Sure.
increasing every day.
Sure.
And now we're having a budget deficit. That the government is saying they have to borrow to finance. Where exactly lies the faith of the government on the street?
We are all involved. Governments will continue to borrow, just like I said the other time, to finance very good projects. But for now, the way the nation we are in a very serious crisis, because that amount of money is getting too much, and we cannot see much progress. We don't have much to show for it. If you have much to show for it, it should not be a problem. like I said the other time, all of us need to change our orientation, our concept of money, our concept of life. By the time we change it, some things will not interest us. Yes, some things will not interest us. And if we are able to change our concept of life, our needs are just limited. It's not as people used to think about it. Yes, I think that's changing. The common man now, we are all in a problem, but we know by the grace of God we get out of it.
Okay.
Yes.
When you talked about changing of concept, more like reorientation of Nigerians to actually value the things that are most needed.
Yes.
Where do you think such values should come from? Because you discover that even those that are considered as a common man that are not really, tested political, they will be, just keen and saying, once I get there, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, because they are looking up to those that are there flaunting wealth. Do you think it will actually come to a stage where people will not see wealth as a weapon of oppression in Nigeria again?
Well, there may be, because there are some countries of the world that they just decided to change their ways of life. China, I mean, what do we know about China before? They just decided that they want to change their orientation and they changed it. That's why they are doing very well now. In China, if you are doing any business in China, you don't need to fear. Because if eventually your customer in China renege on his whatever promise or whatever, he knows the consequence. In Nigeria, we have not seen somebody being killed because he's corrupt. We have not seen somebody being jailed, especially prominent people, for corruption. All those are the things that can curb all these excesses. By the time you know that if you do this thing, no matter who you have the punishment. You will not dare do it. Then we can still get some people, they are still honest Nigerians, who believe that when they occupy any post, they are there to serve humanity, and not just to get themselves enriched. We still have people that can do that. When the place such people get to the level where we can help the country.
Yeah. Now, you see, when this government came on board, one of the ways they told us that they're going to revive the economy is through diversification. But now, we have not been able to diversify, and this is what is actually leading us to this huge debt, isn't it? Now, why is it so difficult for Nigeria to diversify its economy?
Well, honestly speaking, diversification is one of the cardinal aims of the present government.
Yeah.
But our eyes are so much on our oil reserves, and the thing's getting dried out. I don't know how long it's going to take for us to be having. Anyway, they have discovered oil from other sources, some other states in the country. But must we have to rely on oil alone? We have to diversify. The government are trying to diversify to agriculture. Just like I said the other time, our own personal, whatever, do affect government policy. Let's say I'm a farmer now, and the government, through government, I'm able to access a facility to own a farm. Owning a farm nowadays is a good thing because you get, people, everybody must eat. So whatever you are able to produce, people must buy it. But we have so many things that is affecting all those, the farming world nowadays. You can be in the farm, they can kidnap you.
Okay.
The cattle areas, they can just clear their cattle to eat whatever you have. And that money you borrow, how will you be able to pay it back? Because the peace that is almost lost in the country is affecting the economy. Because if we have peace and an enabling environment, you can do any business successfully. So part of what is affecting us is that peace that is not actually in the system. Because you want to go do any business now, when you consider so many other things, you have to consider other factors that are not even an issue in other parts of the world. Where you have the means to do something, you have an environment to do whatever you do, and you do it successfully. But here, a single factor can delay whatever your proposal is. And that's an issue.
You're talking about doing business. Let's talk about the ease of doing business in
Yes,
Nigeria.
these are the business.
How has it been so far, and how is this supposed to be?
The normal situation supposed to be there should be an enabling environment. Government is supposed to provide some basic facilities that will help a business. For example, now we are talking of power. I mean light. I don't know how much you buy this way. I know this is almost in the region of 1,000 naira per liter now. How do you do that business and survive? Because whatever your amount you spend on this way, you have to transfer the costs to the buyer of your product. And when you do that, it means you are going to, the cost of selling that thing is going to be on the rise. And it's not helping the populace. Because the money is not growing, their own income is not as, it's not growing as the inflationary rate. So it's an issue.
So apart from electricity, sorry, talk about power, talk about what are the other things that government should
Water.
Okay.
Good road.
Okay.
Good rail system for transportation.
Okay.
Because if you have good roads, it means you can easily transfer your goods and service or whatever from your village to anywhere where they don't buy it. If you have all those enabling environment, then government must give access to companies, to people to secure loan. They should be able to back it up and give them a very reasonable rate, not commercial rates.
Okay.
So as to encourage people to do such. So if you have all those templates on ground, then it's make it easy. Then security too.
Okay.
You must provide security. If there's security, I can try to be my farm by 5 a.m. and work till 10 p.m. You know, all those things will help matters.
The other time we were discussing about the changing of concept and orientation, and you made mention of China as an example. Now, this change of concept and orientation, should it come from the bottom or from the top?
Well, it should come, it's naturally, it has not come from the top. Let's be frank about it. But let it now come from the bottom.
From the grassroots.
How can the grassroots influence it? Now we are having presidential election, but we must use our voters' card wisely. We must vote for somebody who think have the capacity and the wherewithal to make Nigeria progress in the next 4 years. If you are able to do that, and that person is able to know that, is aware that we have our hope on him, and that he has the fear of God in mind, and want to make a good name for himself, then we are lucky. Then things can start changing. It has not gotten to the worst situation. Nigeria can still come up.
You can still survive.
You can still survive. Look at Dubai. You know of Dubai before. Now Dubai, you know what Dubai is now.
Thanks for that word of hope.
Yes, thanks so much for the word of hope. You said Nigeria can still make it.
Exactly.
Nigeria can still make it. Now, for Nigeria to make it, what should the leaders be doing and the followers do?
Yes, the leaders, they should know that there are some people at the bottom, the bottom of the ladder, that their duty is to ensure that they are faring well.
Okay.
Yes. Once they know that, and they should know that whatever they amass, whatever way they amass, it's not too important. How much will they spend? So if they have it in mind to help people or to do something that will benefit the citizens, then things can start coming up. Yes. For those people at the bottom level of the ladder, those at the grassroots level, we need to be sincere with ourselves. Sincerity in the sense that if you know you cannot do any business, don't just near it. And we need to obey government. Yes, because when you obey government, you pay your tax accordingly. That will help the government. The government must be able to utilize your tax judiciously to your benefit or to the benefit of the nation. Whereby you know that when you pay your tax, you get benefit from it. Nobody will even force you to go and pay the tax. You want to do it. So I think the leader needs to guide us right, and we, the followers too, we must follow our leader judiciously. But the leader must of necessity have good intention for us, and we should see that good intention. That will encourage us to follow them. Yes, and when we have opportunity of criticizing them, they should take it as one of the things for them to
adjust.
Yes, to adjust. Yes, they should not take it as serious opposition or whatever. Yes.
Now, let's now look at the issue of cashless policy. What is cashless policy?
Well, cashless policy is a situation whereby you do most of your transaction not actually in cash, but with other devices, with other means, like transfers and maybe sending money to another people's account, that kind of a thing. I think that's what cashless means. They want to reduce the level of cash you are holding. The risk, they want to take the risk off you. So cashless means you use minimal cash to do your transactions.
But if you look at this cashless policy and the way it will operate, do you think it can succeed in this country? Going by the level of literacy, the network problem, and all those issues that could pose challenges to this policy. Do you think it can survive, it can succeed?
Yes, cashless policy can succeed. Maybe we should even talk of the aim of the policy.
Okay.
I think one of the aim of policy as in Nigeria is to tackle this insecurity.
Okay.
Yes. Because when you are being kidnapped, you are asked to pay ransom. That ransom goes to the bush. It's not traceable. But with the introduction of this cashless policy, if well implemented, even if you pay ransom through somebody's account, you can trace it. Then, apart from that, if anybody is coming to my house to come and steal my money, you know that I don't have much, I won't keep much at home. So that will reduce the issue of insecurity. Because, you know, when you come to my home, maybe you can only find 20,000 naira. So what will make you to now do all those wahala before you come, what you get is just a small amount of money. So cashless policy can work in Nigeria if we are all faithful to it. In the sense that most of the transactions nowadays, we do it through transfers, and it makes it things easy. Even the allogers, they all have POS where they do their transactions. So it can work if we are all faithful and we want it to work. Yes, I think it's
Okay, let's look at the way banks treat customers. Sometimes when you do a transfer, it will leave your account, it will not get to the account you are meant to transfer it to. And in an ideal situation, the process is supposed to reverse itself and you get your money back. But in Nigeria, you have to visit the bank, fill forms. Sometimes it will take up to a month, 2, 3.
Yes.
Before you
Even
have
more than that.
Yes, before you have your money back. Why is that supposed to be the ideal situation?
No, it's not an ideal situation. The honestly speaking, things are improving. You know, those days it's even worse than that. But nowadays it has to do with network problems, which the banks has no control over. Like we said the other time that what do you need to have to be able to do a good business in Nigeria? I mentioned some things there. Part of it is that the government will ensure that this network problem or whatever.
Okay.
Yes.
The network providers.
Yes, providers. Because if it is seamless, everybody will enjoy it. You can sit down here and transfer money to anywhere at the corner of your room. So that will make things better. But the issue of this network problem is too rampant in the country. So the government need to take up the network providers, that they should try to improve their services. And some banks too, they need to increase whatever their rate of they need to improve on their network issues, so that such thing will not continue to happen. The issue of taking time before the money is credited back, I think it has to do with some banks. Some banks are so passionate that within 12 hours or whatever, the money goes back to your account. And some banks, when you go to them to complain, within the twinkle of an eye, they resolve it. But there are still some banks, I agree with you, there are still some that it takes a while before your account is being credited back, which is not the best.
Okay. Now, thank you, Laji, for your submission so far. Let's now look at it in our language. So, ẹ̀yin aráalé, ètò tí à ń gbé yẹ̀wò náà ni níta mẹ́nubà lórí ètò yìí ní wákàtí ní gbèsè tí orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà jẹ. Àlejò wa sì ní Alhaji Adébísí Balógun tí wọ́n jẹ́ onímọ̀ nípa ètò ọrọ̀ ajé. Alhaji, ẹ jẹ́ ká wo gbèsè tó ń fojoojúmọ́ ga sí lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí, tá a sì yáwó tán. Ẹ̀yin gẹ́gẹ́ bí onímọ̀ ètò ọrọ̀ ajé, bí Nàìjíríà ṣe ń yáwó lójoojúmọ́ yìí, ṣé kò tiẹ̀ bà yín lẹ́rù àbí kò sí nǹkan kan tó burú ń bẹ̀?
Ó bani lẹ́rù gidi, ó bani lẹ́rù, ó dẹ̀ ń jẹ́ ká yẹn jà, a sì gbọ́dọ̀ mójútó pé gbèsè yìí ò máa lọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Tí a bá díẹ̀ bí mo ṣe sọ ní èdè ìbílẹ̀ kan, kò sí tó burú kí èèyàn yá owó, ṣùgbọ́n tí èèyàn bá yá owó fún, èèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ rí i pé òun ṣe tí ó yá owó yẹn fún, tí ó ran gbogbo ọmọ Nàìjíríà lọ́wọ́. Tí a bá yá owó tí a fi ṣe tó yẹ ká ṣe, bóyá a fi ṣe ọ̀nà, a fi provide health services fún àwọn aráàlú, ètò ìlera, a fi ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀nà, electricity wa tó dúró dáa, yóò wú àwọn èèyàn lórí láti mọ̀ sí business. Owó tá a yá yẹn à ní filẹ̀ jù, because even bàbá ń ṣe owó tá a bá production tá a bá ṣe tax wa tax everything, yóò rọ̀ ìjọba lọ́rùn láti máa san owó yẹn padà. Ṣùgbọ́n owó tá a yá tí a bá wò ó sìn, á rí i pé a fẹ́ rí àǹfààní bẹ̀ lọ títí, a fẹ́ rí.
Kí ló fà á?
A rọ ìjọba wọ́n jọ kán bá a ṣe tí wọ́n bá máa ná owó lórí, ó máa jẹ́ tí ó kan aráàlú gbọ̀ngbọ̀ngbà, tí ó jẹ́ kí owó tí wọ́n bá ń ṣe ó ní lọ síwájú. Wọ́n fa àwọn èèyàn ní opportunity láti rí owó gbà ní báńkì láti ṣòwò tó bá ń ṣe. Kán ṣe ọ̀nà, owó epo tí ó ti lọ sókè, owó dísù táwà, ẹ̀bí ká ní nọ́mbà wà, ó ti dá fẹ́ fi dísù ṣe. Most company will reduce wá owó ọjà wọn ò tiẹ̀ ní wọ́n tó bó ṣe wọ́n, iná ló ń jẹ́ kí owó lọ sókè. Because nígbà tí nọ́mbà lọ pé láàrin bóyá lójúmọ́ out of 24 hours, bóyá wákàtí márùn-ún péré náà múná wà, tí a sì máa run dísù generator pẹ̀lú dísù for another couple of hours, ẹ rí i pé owó gidi lè yóò ná bẹ́ẹ̀. Owó tẹ bá dẹ̀ náà yẹn, oníṣẹ́ náà lẹ́ gbélé, wọn ló jẹ́ kọjá wọn láti lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn aráàlú.
Tí a bá wo orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà, lẹ́yìn pé àwọn ìjọba, àwọn tó wà níjọba, ní tí wọ́n máa ń gbẹ́kẹ̀lé ni pé epo rọ̀bì wà tí wọ́n máa ti máa rí owó. Ṣé kò sí àwọn nǹkan míì ní orílẹ̀-èdè yìí tí ìjọba lè tún mójútó tí owó fi máa bọ́ sí àpò ìjọba?
A ní tó pọ̀, ìjọba sì ti ń pariwo náà pé àwọn fẹ́ tọ́tò diversification, àwọn fẹ́ wo ọ̀rọ̀ míì, nǹkan àlùmọ́ọ́nì míì tó lè wà wá lọ́wọ́. Ṣùgbọ́n ojú tá a mọ̀ mọ́ epo yẹn ó ti pọ̀ jù, kò jẹ́ ká rántí pé ọrọ̀ ajé mi wà. Fún àpẹẹrẹ agriculture, iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀, wọn tó lè mú ọrọ̀ èyí tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ náà, iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ náà ní Nàìjíríà fi sọ fún tó di pé wọ́n rí epo. A lè sọ pé kò tá lè gan ló kó wa sí wàhálà, ṣùgbọ́n ká náà rí epo náà ló mọ tí àwọn wá sí. Àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè míì wà tó ṣe pé ọ̀dọ̀ wa náà ti wá kọ́ sí àgbẹ̀, especially irú ọ̀pẹ tá à ń gbìn yẹn. Àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè kan gbé àná ti wá mú sample ọ̀pẹ, wọ́n ti lọ́nú ẹ̀sìn tó jẹ́ pé àwọn gan tó ń produce, wọ́n ṣe epo, wọ́n ń lo nǹkan ọ̀pẹ ju àwa gan tí a wà ní, bóyá ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ gan wọ́n tún gbé wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti wá tà fún wa, tí ò yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Then mining, a ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn natural resources, àwọn nǹkan àlùmọ́ọ́nì tó yẹ kí ìjọba máa lò láti owó apart from epo. So gbogbo yẹn náà ó wà lára tó yẹ kí ìjọba pọ̀jù mọ́. Pé pàtàkì jùlọ iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ ó yẹ kí á mú lọ́kùnkúndùn torí èyí ó jẹun kò sí bí ẹ̀sìn lè rí èyí ó jẹun a lè mọ̀ pé tá a bá ṣiṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ yìí tó bá bọ́ sí tó bá ṣe bó ṣe ká ṣe especially tá a gbé tá ń dẹ tá a gbé tá ń ta yóò gbé wa dé èbúté ògo orí tó ń jẹ́ bá ti kúrò nínú ìṣẹ́gùsì tá a tún gbé àwọn nǹkan ọ̀rọ̀ míì bóyá bíi kòkó kaṣú oríṣiríṣi gbogbo yẹn náà tá a bá nílò ẹ̀ á lè máa ta fún ìlú òkèèrè á jẹ́ pé ọ̀rọ̀ ajé wa kó tún lù gẹ́gẹ́ sí.
tí a bá wá wo gbèsè tí a jẹ yìí ṣé a sì tún yáwó ni o a sì tún yáwó lọ ni o àìtí ìdádúró sí Nàìjíríà ló lè pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ ká bọ́ ń bẹ̀ ohun tí gbogbo wa náà la ní iṣẹ́ ṣe lórí ẹ̀ iṣẹ́ wo la ní ṣe a ní láti mọ tí a wáyé fún àti pé kí ni àwọn nǹkan pàtàkì tá a ní ìdíláyé oúnjẹ kí n rí lé gbé kí n rí mọ́tò tí ó gbé lọ nìkan tí ó bá fẹ́ lọ kálàáfíà wa ó dáa pé àwọn tó ṣe pàtàkì jù láyé nìyẹn àwọn agẹgẹ a ní láti change attitude wa ká mọ̀ tá a fẹ́ ká mọ̀ tó wúlò fún àyàtọ̀ fún tí ò wúlò fún gbàtẹ́ nìkan bá kọ́ ilé tó kọ́lé 10 tó kọ́lé 20 láti lè fi ṣe tí ẹ ra mọ́tò tó ní mọ́tò 10 tó ní mọ́tò 15 ló fẹ́ fi ṣe tí a bá ti mọ̀ pé ẹ wo àwọn òyìnbó ẹ lè rí òyìnbó tó tóbi tó gbogbo tá a wáyé ohun tó ní èdè yóò rà ṣe àwa náà láti wo ohun tá a bá fẹ́ ṣe ká jẹ́ kó jẹ́ tí ó wúlò fún wa òun jẹ́ tí a máa kàn ṣe tí ó ṣe pé kò ní wúlò àdéhùn ọ̀gbìn tá a bá ṣe ohun tó yẹ kó wúlò fáwọn míì àwa nìkan wà kó sọ́dọ̀ a sì lówó ṣe ká lò.
ẹ ṣe bọ̀ ló tẹ̀ ní pọ́lísì kan tí ìjọba ń gbé kalẹ̀ tí wọ́n fẹ́ káwọn èèyàn máa ná owó ṣùgbọ́n ká wá mú owó dání wọ́n pè ní cashless policy irú àǹfààní wo ni irú ìgbékalẹ̀ yẹn lè mú bá orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà.
Àǹfààní tó wà ń bẹ̀ pọ̀ mo rò pé ìdí tí wọ́n fi ẹ̀ ti ṣe òfin yẹn gan lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ ó ní pé láti jẹ́ kí wàhálà insecurity kó lọlẹ̀ torí dábàá sọ pé ká má kó owó sápò àbí ká má kó owó lé àfihàn ara wa lọ́wọ́ ni ẹ tó fẹ́ lọ jí owó léèyàn tó ti mọ̀ pé tó bá lọ owó kékeré ló máa bá kò ní fẹ́ ṣe wàhálà tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti lọ máa sọ pé ó fọ́ ilé tó wà lára àǹfààní tí ó ṣe fún wa dẹ́n tá bá wọ wàhálà wà bí ká gbówó dání gan bóyá yìí lè ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀ bá gbé 50,000 dání sí màmá àwọn fẹ́fẹ́fẹ́ ní pé sẹ́nìkan kò tẹ̀lé mi sẹ́nìkan kò ṣe kíní kankan tó wá lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ cashless ní sẹ́wọ̀n pé ó rọrùn orí fóònù ilẹ̀ ti ṣe ohun tí ẹ bá fẹ́ ṣe transfer ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ní sẹ́fẹ́ ra anything orí fóònù ilẹ̀ ti ṣe yàtọ̀ fún ẹ máa ju òkè so ó dín wàhálà kí ẹ máa di owó kí ó máa wù fẹ́fẹ́ ó dín then ara àǹfààní tó tún wà ń bẹ̀ fún wa ni pé fún báǹkì ni pé ó jẹ́ kó rọrùn fún báǹkì láti rí owó tí wọ́n fi máa ṣòwò nǹkan tá a mí ni pé owó tẹ kó lé kò ṣiṣẹ́ fún ẹkọ́nọ́mì owó tó bá wà ní báǹkì olóhùn ṣiṣẹ́ ó tún wá jẹ́ kó rọ central bank lọ́rùn láti mọ́nítọ̀ àwọn náà ń control bí owó ṣe lọ láti mọ́nítọ̀ iye owó tó wà ní circulation láti mọ́nítọ̀ bí wọ́n ṣe ń ná so láti mọ́nítọ̀ ẹ̀ tó yẹ máa wọ àkáǹtì wọ́n á mọ́nítọ̀ iye tax tó yẹ kí pé iléeṣẹ́ san àti iléeṣẹ́ tó yẹ kí àwọn oníṣòwò náà kó san ẹ rí i pé tó bá ṣe gbogbo yẹn á jẹ́ kí àwọn kan wà sí tí wọ́n san tax àwọn tó ń kówó kiri ìgbà tó wà lóko tó bá ti fẹ́ san tax basis wo lẹ fẹ́ fi rate wọn dá sọ pé iye báyìí lẹ́sàn ìgbà tó wẹ́ máa wọ báǹkì yóò tó fún ìjọba láǹfààní láti rí owó sí láti ṣe ètò ẹ̀kan ṣe sí ìlú.
ìyẹn tẹ wàá rán mi létí kìíní kan tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ náà àwọn èèyàn ń fowó ránṣẹ́ lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára cashless ṣùgbọ́n tá a bá wà wò dáadáa ó dàbí ẹni pé ìrírí àwọn èèyàn ti fi hàn wípé ó fààyè lẹ̀ fún báǹkì láti máa yan àwọn oníbàárà àwọn jẹ torí tẹ́ ẹ bá fowó ránṣẹ́ sẹ́nìkan lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára nísìn wọ́n jáwó lọ́dọ̀ ẹnìyẹn wọ́n tún jáwó lọ́dọ̀ ẹni tẹ́ tó fowó ránṣẹ́ sí
owó tí wọ́n ń dá ọ̀pẹ ní service charge sẹ́wọ̀n pé báńkì tẹ́ gbé kalẹ̀ àwọn náà ní ọ̀gá pẹ̀lú wáyẹ̀tì wọ́n ní tí wọ́n ti náwó lé lórí àwọn náà ó sì jèrè bóyá ẹ̀yìn gan bóyá wà lára àwọn tó dókòwò ní báńkì yẹn ó yẹ káwọn náà jèrè a rí i pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan ọ̀fẹ́ lọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ máa fẹ́ jù ó ti fẹ́ san owó kankan tàbádẹ́dẹ́ báńkì náà gbọ́dọ̀ láwò pé ó yẹ kí náà lọ rí báyìí báńkì náà pé tàbádẹ́kọ̀ àdẹ́fẹ́ kó rú mọ́ owó náà ní báńkì máa ná láti fi ṣe gbogbo nǹkan yẹn so èrè tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ tán rí lórí ẹ̀ yẹn kò tí ì burú jù lórí ẹ̀ torí tẹ́ bá fẹ́ fi owó ránṣẹ́ sí nǹkan bá dàn sí tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́ níbi tẹ́ jókòó sí tó dẹ̀ lọ bàtà láti fẹ́ wọ́n mọ́tò lọ ẹ mọ iye owó tẹ́ nà lọ láti lọ fẹ́ ni ẹ lówó yẹn ẹ ti jókòó nù ilé ẹ ti tẹ̀ so yẹ kí báńkì náà rí rè.
nítorí wá sọ ni pé tí wọ́n á yẹ ká jáwó lọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀ tó fowó ránṣẹ́ sí yẹn ká tó wá já lọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀ tí ó gbà.
owó ẹ̀ tí ó gbà wọn kì í jáwó lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ tí ó gbà
wọ́n máa jà.
wọ́n máa ń jà o wọ́n ní mi sọ
bóyá
fún
wọn
jà.
ìrírí àwọn èèyàn ní
ní ṣe tó bá jáwó tèmi mọ̀ owó tó gbà bóyá wọn ta owó kan tíjọba ní ká máa gbà 50 naira wọ́n pè ní
VAT.
yes 50 naira VAT not even VAT ẹ̀ postage am
okay yes
ìjọba ló dẹ̀ ní kìí ṣe báńkì ẹ lónìí ìjọba lónìí owó yẹn ló wà lára owó tíjọba fi ń ṣe tó yẹ ká máa ná láti ṣe.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni owó yẹn ni wà ní wọn wà mọbi tó bọ́ sí ní ìsìn.
àti ẹ̀ gbọ́ pé owó yẹn pọ̀ gan-an
ìpópọ̀ wọn ni wà mọbi tó
iye tí
wà
owó
láyé.
yẹn jẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìròyìn ṣe gbé kò yẹ kí orílẹ̀-èdè ó tiẹ̀ tó jẹ gbèsè owó yẹn wà mọ́ bí ó wà láyé.
iná láti sọ pé tí a bá tún wo wa mo fi ní iṣẹ́ gbogbo wa ní láti tún Nàìjíríà ṣe gbogbo abá tá a bá mọ tá a wáyé wá ṣe tá a dẹ̀ mọ tá a nídìí wàhálà ò ní pọ̀ jù torí irú owó yẹn sìn tó bá yẹ pé ẹnìkan ló máa kó nìkan ló máa kó síbi kan kí ló fẹ́ fi ṣe kí ló fẹ́ fi rà so tá a bá decide pé a fẹ́ kó orílẹ̀-èdè yìí kó work yóò work and ọ̀rọ̀ mi àti náà ni àwa náà là níjọba tá a fi sọ pé irú ètò ìdìbò tí ń bọ̀ yìí ká wo lẹ̀ dáadáa ká wo ẹni tá a bá dìbò fún sẹ́ni ó lè ràn wá lọ́wọ́ sẹ́ni ó ṣe tá a fẹ́ sẹ́ni nífẹ̀ẹ́ mẹ̀kúnnù sẹ́ni kí o ṣe pé àpò ara ẹ̀ ló fẹ́ máa kó owó sí tá a bá rí yẹn ṣe tó dẹ̀ rí àwọn èèyàn gidi láti bá ṣiṣẹ́ Nàìjíríà sì ní òkú Ọlọ́run ṣàánú wa gan fún oríṣiríṣi nǹkan àmọ́yé àwọn nǹkan ọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ́ pé anìkan tá a ti mọ̀ àmọ́yé tá a ti mọ̀ tá a ti débẹ̀ rárá ṣùgbọ́n a ní ìdí olóòótọ́ ó wà lókè káwọn náà sì di olóòótọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn tá a tẹ̀lé wọn tí yẹn bá ti ṣe é ṣe ẹ rí i pé láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà gbogbo nǹkan tó ń yàtọ̀ bó ṣe àpẹẹrẹ Dubai lẹ́ẹ̀kan ta ló gbúrò Dubai tẹ́lẹ̀ pé kìnnì kankan Dubai náà hardly no day kò sí nǹkan tá ẹni fẹ́ ṣe léni lójọ́ kan kò sí kẹ́ mọ́ gbọ́dọ̀ nípa Dubai wọ́n ti ṣe lé o wọ́n ti ṣe lé o wọ́n ti ṣe lé o torí pé gbogbo wọn gbìmọ̀ràn pọ̀ pé àwọn fẹ́ kí olùyè dá sẹ́ wọ́n sì ṣiṣẹ́ tán so gbogbo àná là á ní láti ṣiṣẹ́ tán kọ́lọ́hún dẹ̀ ràn wá lọ́wọ́.
Tàbá wá wo ètò ìfowóránṣẹ́ síra ẹni lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára tá a sì wo bí orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ṣe rí sẹ́yìn rò wípé ètò ilé kẹsẹ̀ járe sàn pẹ̀lú ibi tí ì ti síná tí ì sí nẹ́tíwọ́ọ̀kì tó jẹ́ pé àwọn èèyàn gan ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ gan ni ò tiẹ̀ mọ̀ nípa pé bóyá bá a ṣe ń tẹ ẹ̀rọ yìí láti lè fowó ránṣẹ́ ẹ rò pé ètò ilé kẹsẹ̀ járe.
Kò sí tí ó ní àǹfààní tí ò ní ìdàkejì rẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n tí a bá fẹ́ kó ṣiṣẹ́ ó lè ṣiṣẹ́ òótọ́ lẹ sọ ẹ́ pé bàtà sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé àwọn ètò owó lọ́yẹ kíjọba ṣe ara kí wọ́n ṣe nẹ́tíwọ́ọ̀kì dáadáa náà ó wà lára tí adarúkọ báyìí tí ó bá jẹ́ pé nẹ́tíwọ́ọ̀kì dá tí ò sí wàhálà ọ̀rọ̀ nù láti máa ṣẹ́jú owó yẹn ìtẹ́ sọ pé àwọn kan wà tó ṣe pé wọ́n á mọ̀ nípa bí wọ́n ṣe máa tẹ owó yẹn òótọ́ ni wọ́n lọ mọ̀ wọ́n níyàwó wọ́n lẹ́bi tí a lè pè pé wàá bá mi ṣe kíní tí ó sì bá wọn ṣe mo sọ pé tí gbogbo wa bá ti decide pé nǹkan yìí ṣe afẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ṣiṣẹ́ yóò ṣiṣẹ́ however àwọn ìpèníjà kan náà wà bẹ́ẹ̀ tòótọ́ ìlú nẹ́tíwọ́ọ̀kì yẹn ń ṣiṣẹ́ pé ìjọba ló ní agbára lórí ẹ̀ wọ́n láti bá a ṣe kí nẹ́tíwọ́ọ̀kì yẹn kó dáa then a ní láti kọ́ àwọn èèyàn wa bá ṣe ń ṣe then kìnìún kan wà tó ń pè ní cyber security a gbọ́dọ̀ rí i pé àwọn èèyàn máa ń lo kíní sẹ́yìn pé àwọn kan wà sí tó jẹ́ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe léwu kẹ́ ẹ dé àkáǹtì tó wọ́n lè mú nǹkan lórí ẹ̀
Bẹ́ẹ̀.
so kó tó bá a ṣètò tí ó jẹ́ wípé irú nǹkan yóò ní ṣeé ṣe tí ó dáàbò bo àkáǹtì kálukú táwọn òfin nílò wọnú ẹ̀ láti kó owó lówó.
ẹ jẹ́ ká tiẹ̀ wò ní ọ̀rọ̀ cyber security tẹ̀sán ẹ̀ á padà pé ní gbogbo tá àwọn pípọ̀ yẹn bá ti pè yàn tó má ti bèrè information ìmílẹ̀dì tó owó yẹn bá ti kúrò ní àkáǹtì tó tún bọ́ sọ́dọ̀ ó máa ń difficult fún àwọn báńkì láti lè trace ẹ̀ pípọ̀ wá dá padà kí ló fà á tó fi máa ń mú ìṣòro dání lọ́bẹ̀ yẹn
oyè mi pẹ̀lú.
bíi àwọn tó wà engaged in crime
okay.
tó bá ti pe àwọn victims wọn wípé àti báńkì yẹn la ti ń pè ó
Okay.
kí ni date of birth yín sẹ́yìn lẹ́yìn jẹ́ báyìí tó wọ́n bá ti ń wo àkáǹtì wọn wọ́n á dẹ̀ wà máa fa lọ tẹ́ bá wà lọ report fún bank wọn ò kí ń lè rí owó yẹn
Àwọn ilé trace.
trace ẹ̀ dá padà.
ṣe rí yẹn tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ ibi kan wà ní central bank tí a lè report ìlú kọ́bẹ̀rẹ̀sì
Okay.
torí ká tó kún àkáǹtì fún yà gẹ́gẹ́ bí báńkì ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ mọ ilé rẹ ẹ mọ ọ̀nà rẹ ẹ mọ ṣe ọwọ́ rẹ ẹ mọ gbogbo ẹ yóò tún wá mú èèyàn bí méjì àbí mẹ́ta ó tún wà tí ó sọ pé àwọn mọ̀ ẹ̀dá tí wọ́n sọ pé tọ́ ọ̀ bá mọ̀ wọ́n sọ pé ọ̀ mọ̀
Okay.
tọ́ bá ti mẹ́ni yẹn fún àti ìlú kẹ́lẹ́ yẹn bá ṣẹlẹ̀ ó yẹ ká lè lọ sínú àkáǹtì yẹn láti lọ wò pé ta lẹ́nu yìí ìwọ ló kún àkáǹtì omi tí wà I trace everything tábà gbà pé so ẹbí yẹn á dì í lu báńkì tí nǹkan yẹn bá ti ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ central bank dẹ̀ lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ láti sọ pé báńkì yóò ṣe ẹ̀tọ́ tó yẹ kán ṣe sórí owó yẹn wọ́n gbà padà lọ́wọ́ báńkì yẹn fún fẹ́ni yẹn.
Okay.
Ṣé irú nǹkan yẹn sì mú wàhálà dání máa lọ máa bọ̀ wálé ní wálé ọ̀nà.
Police report lọ sí kóòtù lọ sí affidavit.
nọ́mbà tí yóò ṣètò yẹ kí a ṣe tẹ́ bá ti lè gbé fún wọn òun ò ṣiṣẹ́ lórí ẹ̀ gidigidi.
Ṣé
kò dẹ̀ sí báńkì náà tí ó wà sí tí ó fẹ́ kí nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ó báyọ̀ nú jẹ́ pé èèyàn lè ó pa àkáǹtì fẹ̀ǹtì ọmọ tàbí pé èèyàn lè ó pa àkáǹtì fẹ̀ǹtì òní lè tẹ̀sẹ̀ torí tẹ́ bá wọ́n pa àkáǹtì wọn bá débi pé ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ lọ lé rẹ fisikálì ẹ lọ pé tẹ́tù béèrè lọ bí ilé kẹta pé ẹjọ́ sẹ́ ọmọ alágbẹ́já tó ń gbé bẹ̀rẹ̀ àlè tó tán yẹ ká ṣe nìyẹn náà pè ní KYC know your customer.
tí wọ́n yẹ kán ṣe ṣé wọ́n ṣe torí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ní open account online ní ìsìn ẹ bá ti gbé fún yín ẹ máa open account jẹ ẹ dẹ̀ máa ló lọ.
bó bá lọ POS gan wọn á ní open your account.
gbogbo yẹn ni ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ mójútó láti check ẹ̀ pé nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ò lọ́mọ tó yẹ tó ń fà á jù ní tẹ̀sán yẹn ìgbà tó lọ open account tó yẹ kó ní fóònù tó open account ó lè wà nígbà ìdíjú kó sọ pé kánò lọ́wọ́ sọ pé wàhálà nìyẹn tó tó bá ṣe é ṣe irú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ kò yẹ kí èèyàn sọ pé òun ó òkun account yẹn yes o ẹ̀ tó bá ti òkun irú account yẹn láti máa pè é anything ó lè ṣẹlẹ̀ láti
ó lè pe internet banking gan ó ń ṣòro dání.
internet bank tó bá tẹ̀ bá lọ sí báńkì tó open account tí báńkì fún ọ ní kóòdù tí ó máa lò ní òun wà ládàá ṣùgbọ́n internet banking pé òun open account lórí fóònù wọ́n dẹ̀ ń generate report rẹ̀ wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣe owó tó nípa tí wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ ilé ẹ̀ tí wọ́n mọ̀ náà tí ẹ̀gá bá tiẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹ kí wọ́n rẹ̀ méjì pé ó yẹ kí báńkì ilé yóò ṣe báńkì ọ̀sán àbámẹ́ dáadáa ó yẹ kí wọ́n open account fún so tí nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣẹlẹ̀ pé owó yẹn lọ dandan fún báńkì yẹn láti wá bí tó owó yẹn lọ wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ tó ń
kí ló wá dé tíjọba àkókò gbẹ́sẹ̀ lé ká máa open account lórí ẹ̀rọ.
Then apart from that gbogbo àwọn ó ní àwọn internet bank tẹ pé wọ́n tún máa ń yá àwọn èèyàn lówó àwọn applications tí wọ́n tún máa táwọn èèyàn dẹ̀ ń lò gan.
ṣé ẹ ti rí yẹn ó yẹ kí ìjọba jẹ ìgbésẹ̀ làwọn yẹn kí ni ìdí ni pé báńkì tí wọ́n lọ ọ́fíìsì tí wọ́n yá èèyàn lówó ètò tí ẹ bá nínú jẹ́ jù ni pé bóyá ẹnìkan yá owó wọ́n kàn wá pé òun bá ṣe ń ṣe wọ́n á ti rí orúkọ gbogbo tó wà lórí fún ẹni yẹn wọ́n wà máa sẹ́ẹ̀dì mẹ́sẹ̀jì sí pé ẹ sọ fún ẹni kó wá sanwó tí ó bá wá sanwó èèyàn burúkú ni èèyàn kìíní kan ẹ tẹ́ ẹ̀mọ̀ gbà tó ń yáwó táìmù gbà tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń yáwó so ó yẹ kí ìjọba fojú wo ibẹ̀ yẹn kan bó ṣe máa sanitize bó ṣe máa tún ṣe àtúnṣe lórí irú yẹn kò yẹ kó máa wáyé kò yẹ kó máa wáyé ó yẹ kó máa wá bó ṣe máa ṣe.
tí a bá tún wá wò ó síwájú sí ṣé ẹni pé ètò yìí tó bá jẹ́ pé gbogbo wa ní lọ́kàn pé yóò ṣe sòrò yóò padà ṣe sòrò pọ̀ táwọn ìgbésẹ̀ wo gan ìjọba náà tún gbọ́dọ̀ gbé láti ràn aráàlú lọ́wọ́.
ẹni tó mọ sọ nípa nẹ́tíwọ́ọ̀kì lẹ́tọ̀ ìtàkùn ayélujára ìjọba ní láti bá wa bá àwọn tó tó wà ní ìgbọ̀nà ìpínlẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ tán ṣe kó dáa so that tẹ bá ti fẹ́ ṣe anything ọkàn yín ti balẹ̀ pé yóò lọ ìjọba ní láti náwó lérí yẹn ká bá wa ṣe dáadáa lẹ́yìn pé ìjọba ṣe yẹn ìjọba ní láti tún pariwo fáwọn èèyàn ìwúlò tí wọ́n ṣe yẹn àwa náà ní láti faramọ́ pé ohun tán ṣe yẹn yóò ràn wá lọ́wọ́ torí mo sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé ẹlòmíì ò lè gbé 50,000 lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀rọ ọmọ bá ẹlòmíì dẹ̀ ní wọ́n fẹ́ transfer bí 200 million á rí i pé ọwọ́ kan náà ni ó transfer lórí fún ó jẹ́ kó rọrùn so ó jẹ́ kí gbèsè ayé ó tún ṣe sí i wọ́n fẹ́ lọ ra nǹkan sìn àwọn ìyá lọ́jà wọn náà ti ní POS wọ́n fẹ́ ra nǹkan bá náà sìn ẹ lè sanwó ó sẹ́ndẹ̀ sí ilé tó sùn ẹ ti gbà kan yẹn ó jẹ́ kí gbogbo kìnìyàn kó rọrùn ṣùgbọ́n ìjọba ní láti ṣiṣẹ́ lórí ẹ̀ kọ́dẹ̀ bá a ṣiṣẹ́ láti rí pé àwọn èèyàn tó rọrùn fáyàn láti mọ̀ tọ́ bọ àkáǹtì alákáǹtì láti gba owó jáde ara tó yẹ kí ìjọba ṣe nìyẹn mo sọ pé kíjọba kan tún ṣàlàyé fáwọn yẹn kọjá ká sọ fáwọn yẹn káàkiri pé ìwúlò kìíní ni o tàjẹ́ tì ní o so ó wà láwọn tí ìjọba gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe.
ẹ ṣe gan ni Alhaji Adebisi Balogun. Thank you so much for making it to the program. Yes, we have been discussing the rising debt profile of Nigeria and the implementation of the cashless policy. And our guest has been a financial expert, Alhaji Adebisi Balogun. I also appreciate you for coming once again. And this is where we'll be drawing the curtains on the first guest platform of the Saturday Money Trade this morning. Our second guest is already in the studio, so we'll take a short break, and when we come back, we will continue with the second guest platform. Please stay tuned.
Fun.